What's up, guys? It's Shani with Healing Elements, here to give you guys another interpretive video all about spirit animals. And this time I am uploading all about the shark spirit animal to the spirit animal playlist. And I've been, saying in the introduction to these videos, if you have ever resonated with a specific spirit animal, or you have done some work to find out perhaps what your spirit animal is and what traits you resonate with, perhaps it is already in the playlist all about spirit animals. I continue to add to them, so if it is, hopefully take a listen and see if any of the traits and descriptions and of course traditional symbols resonate with you in any way. And if you have never explored what your specific spirit animal is, or any animal totem that may have specific meaning for you at this point in your life, I have been, just throwing it out there to perhaps be intuitively guided to pick one or two of the videos that call out to you within the playlist and see if you can perhaps discover yours. So guys, this is a very immensely powerful spirit animal. This is all about the shark spirit. All about the shark spirit animal, guys. So of course, with the intensity, go ahead and play the fancy slideshow. The intense, emotions that are drawn out with everybody in regard to sharks. I mean, the frenzy about Shark Week. This is an immensely, again, powerful type of archetype or spirit. So the spirit animal of a shark symbolizes a lot of, again, immense, intense type of energy. So superiority, of course, power and invoking powerfulness into what you need to accomplish or what you need to attack. Authority, having a leadership role of some sort, perhaps, or being head of household, head of some sort of group, being able to have a, say and be superior and have people that are going to respect you and take your lead. Definitely is also symbolic with fearlessness, being completely void of any kind of fear or unnecessary paranoia about getting involved in a situation or adventure. Also is, an energy that, if you resonate with this, the shark spirit animal people can put off a very, furrowed brow, fear-inducing energy, or at least a demeanor, just as the shark, no matter what its size in the wild, does as well. This is a heavy, heavy theme of survival and the survivalist, right? And being unchanged and unscathed through survival. As you guys know, sharks have been on this planet for millennia and sharing the planet at one time with prehistoric creatures. And they genetically have virtually stayed, unchanged. They are built to last. They have what it takes to endure in a very powerful way. And if you resonate with the spirit animal of the shark, you definitely feel that way. And it also is, pretty relevant to say that something I find within this spirit animal is the ability to either not get ill as much as others, or perhaps have a boosted immune system, whether or not that's natural genetics, or perhaps you take good care and get herbal tea or things, roots, things of that nature, crystals, modalities to help you with your health. However, it's indicative, as far as being built to last and having, unbelievable genetics. Even in nature, the shark is studied by scientists and researchers due to their complete lack of cancer. They are unable to find cancer within the shark species. So of course the scientists are doing research to find out what that can possibly benefit the human race and try to get that, smoking gun of why sharks are able to fend off this most terrible plague and disease of cancer. So you guys, again, that is a big theme, I feel, in my interpretation, having this complete, holistic approach. Or if it's not even that, you may be out of shape, but it's something like You never get sick. The kind of person that goes into work or an environment and just doesn't get ill, or not as ill, or is able to kind of fend off, you know, big impacting diseases, perhaps like cancer. So, you know, definitely, of course, as authoritative and fearless and fierce that this energy represents, you hold also peace and a grace. It's kind of like if you see a shark, you can't look away because the way that they're swimming, it's almost like melodic. However, it's best to be said you're peaceful most often when you are alone, when you're solo, when you're independent, because you can get, sometimes if you resonate with this energy, angsty, you know, hostile, or quite frustrated and bite back hard if you're backed up against a corner or feel that you are, and tend to do better independently rather than in a social network group. Mob mentality sometimes takes a hold of those who resonate with the shark spirit, as far as, you know, almost like an instinctive mob mentality, nothing on purpose or bully, but, you know, just the excitability and the excitement of the moment, turning the situation and your energy into a frenzied free-for-all. Also big, huge symbolic meaning to the shark spirit is protection and safety. So there's a lot of, you know, cultural and tribal implications regarding protection. Some, you know, like shark teeth necklaces even are made, and some tattoos of shark teeth on the Polynesian, you know, groups' ankles is protective, said to protect them from getting bit by a shark. So the shark tooth and the energy overall with the shark spirit is extremely, you know, protective and a safe haven. So you very much are, if you're not tall and big and strong, you are very much a person who makes others feel as if nothing can harm them. You are built to last and built to also protect, and you do so with the utmost gumption. You know, in Hawaiian legends told through oral histories and throughout text, there is a heroic, like a warrior, and he is needed to go off and defeat the god of the sea. And when this warrior finally defeats the god of the sea, he is presented as a very noble, you know, honorable, sacred gift and reward. It's a necklace made out of several shark teeth. So, you know, in some cultures throughout history and around the world, you know, the shark spirit animal energy represents coming of age, masculinity or manhood, or, you know, in this scenario, in this Hawaiian legend, this warrior had done something that, you know, when you come of age or you become a man, you are able to defeat. And so rewarding, you know, that warrior with this sacred gift, and also offering more protection as he, you know, has to go on to his journey and be even more fierce and formidable, is a big, huge theme. So often people feel as if a little piece of you rubs off on them, and they can take that with them. And sometimes the shark spirit animal people offer something, you know, not so much like a lock of hair, but it could be something that is very personal, maybe a bracelet or some sort of totem, some sort of charm that you have worn and had, you know, saturated your energy into. You really love to give hand-me-downs that are meaningful, that have symbolism, that are built to last like you. In Japan also, the storm god, they consider him to be a shark type of a man, like half shark, half man. It's very fierce and powerful, and of course, it is the god of storms. In other, you know, Native American tribes on the United States northwestern coast, like Oregon, Washington, California, even up real north, there are tribes that not only decorate their totem poles with the shark symbol, but feel truly as if it is when you spot a shark from the shore, it is a big indicator of a storm brewing, a huge storm coming in. So I found it fascinating that all the way across the world, in Japan and also in Native American, and we're talking about hundreds of years ago, this has been established, there is a synchronicity, as in all life, right guys? There's a synchronicity and a truly divine theme talking about storms, and I feel weathering the storm. Other cultures, and there's so many that holds, the shark spirit in high regard. So, upon my research and in my journal and just channeling messages before I came on, I found there's so many that I can't list, but one that I feel is significant is this sacred, powerful embodiment that some tribes and cultures feel that is tied into the shark spirit with the afterlife and actual ancestry lines, like ancestors of, their culture, ancient past, and also those who were present with you in this lifetime. So it's said that if you see a shark, it's a beautiful, or thought to be a beautiful divine sign reaching out from the afterlife, from heaven to you. So often, you have this ability, you can be medium per se, because you also, really, really represent intuition and having a keen, acutely in tune set of senses, just like the shark in nature, right? Their, notorious ability to smell or sense blood in the water, right, from so far away. That definitely plays into people who resonate with the spirit of the shark. You are able to sense, almost like the wolf, a lot of spirit animals that are really like the mouse, really, really sensitive to vibrations of any kind, of, sounds, of, your senses, tasting, smelling, everything is amplified within you. Often you're a connoisseur of food if you resonate with the shark spirit because of this increased, sensibility with taste, with your senses. You often can hear in other rooms, or when people think they're whispering, you can hear. It's very interesting. Also, the shark spirit animal energy is, I feel, indicative to the shark's reputation in nature. Misunderstood, right? You don't bite others unless there is a legit reason to do so. For example, if, a person is not nourishment for you, right? Or you consider them not to be, you concentrate more on the bite and spitting them right back out, if that makes sense. So to speak, eliminating any taste of them, in your mouth, because it doesn't do you any good, right? Causing only mild infliction, although ferocious and powerful, right? You can cut off a leg or arm, the most powerful of, force. But usually, again, just like the shark in the wild, will take a bite out of the human or whatnot and be like, it's not a seal, I'm moving on, right? So you definitely concentrate more on the bite than the confrontation. The shark in the nature in wild, circles and stalks and, almost sometimes will drive people crazy when you're, stuck in the middle of nowhere and there's a group of people, there's a shark just totally circling. So absolute, concentration on the bite and when they need to, right? So definitely going into being so intuitive and guided by instincts and your senses, you are extremely observant. You circle your prey and you observe, totally learning anything and everything, whatever you need to, and doing it scrupulously to get an advantage on what to do and how to make the next move. Of course, the shark spirit animal folks are old souls, so you've seen many different people, places, and things in this lifetime and past lifetimes come to life and come to your experience. You've seen things wither away and become extinct, just like the the shark, right? Like the shark in nature who shared the earth with dinosaurs at one point. You're built to survive through, any kind of extinction to outlast many, right? Definitely you continue to concentrate on improving physical, mental, and spiritual, wellness. However, you tend to just adapt and curtail your behavior or mannerisms. You do not ever change, so you're unchangeable. You are very set in your ways, so perhaps could be stern and stubborn at times, but definitely your reputation is met with powerful devotion to surviving. You also, obviously, being so fierce and powerful, if you resonate with the spirit animal energy of the shark, you hold your own, of course, and are very, very capable of being relied on for responsibility, right? Due to your ability to, again, survive, and the power and might that you bring with that, right? And you may be top of the food chain in many facets. Like I said, you could be head of household, you could be owner of a business, you could be, definitely head of clubs, of organizations, of communities. You could be in some sort of politic, right, field, and you would make a very formidable and beautiful one at that. For those of you guys listening, you are just like the shark in nature, the teeth of the shark, how they have endless rows and are, able to regenerate and pop right back in to where it needs to be when one falls out. You are extremely regenerative. So you regenerate after insult or, expenditure or draining of your energy. Any injury, again, injury is physical too, or illness, consistently making the art of being resilient and regenerative look graceful. You never show signs of defect, or if you are ill or injured, you definitely know how to take care of it or hide it from others that would consider it to be a handicap or a hindrance, I should say. You definitely, just like the teeth in the shark, you always have a backup tooth or backup plan, right? Plan A, B, C, D, and so on to Z. You have backup supplies, an arsenal of new, fresh, useful tools, usually at your disposal. Like the shark in nature has an infinitely available, backup supply of teeth if needed, right? You are definitely seen at times to be stern and silent, unaffected, I want to say, and somewhat unapproachable, just because of your serious nature. If you're resonating with this, it isn't, what is represented inside of you, though the, resting bitch face kind of you're accused of having, perhaps, if you resonate with this, it's, just an evident expression of how intently serious that you take life and responsibility, and that can come off as, unhappiness or grumpiness, and that's not the case. You're just really intense. Also, you're engaging, definitely engaging. Again, just that visualization came to me of watching the shark swim back and forth in that melodic way. You engage people, you engage fully into what you want to do, abhorrently, unapologetically. Your motto is sorry, not sorry. You are unapologetic with decisions that you make. When you decide to strike, you're laser focused. Also, when in a position to acquire goods or anything, food, ideas, success, soul food, or anything that you're driven to obtain, you can be just as a shark is with chum thrown into the water all over the place, right? You can get overstimulated and overexcited and behave maybe in a manner that you typically would not, in a kind of frenzy. You can get real fierce in this frenzy, and unnecessarily, or just, I guess, by workup, by the nature of this excitability, you can come off as abrasive, and maybe that's the time that you would show people your ferocious bite. Also, you can handle situations and yourself easily when under pressure. It doesn't, feel like, so to speak, you're holding your breath, right? The shark has gills. When you're pressured, and just as the shark is able to swim deep below the ocean surface where the bone crushing dense pressure exists and is massive, if you resonate with the shark spirit, are able to do this as well, to weave in and out of intense confrontation, experiences, traumas, whatever it may be, that would often be too dense, too overwhelming, too compounding, too crushing. For most, you're able to do it and you look like you never had anything happen unscathed. So, needless to say, or maybe, of course, I'm saying it, so it needed to be said. The shark spirit animal has a lot of affiliation with water, with the water elements of being sensitive and emotional. And you're probably a good swimmer, or just, like the old saying goes, you're like a fish to water, right? And when you're walking around, sometimes you can feel like a fish out of water because you gravitate to the soothing and holistic, elements of the water element. You may even gravitate to live near the coast, by a beach, be a total active, maybe part of beach activities if you don't live near one, like surfing, of course, or snorkeling, scuba diving, or just be fascinated by tide pools, beaches, aquariums, that type of thing. So if you resonate with the spirit of the shark, you definitely are one who you can find living in Hawaii or some sort of, San Diego type of thing, is what I picture. Also, of course, the shark spirit animal being so fierce and being so powerful, being a survivor, having to be a predator and having to fend off perhaps killer whales or something like that. It is a huge theme that is tied in with the warrior spirit, if you've ever heard that, the warrior spirit energy. So you definitely remind us all that in life there is going to be a time, or will be times, when we can't avoid confrontation or having to put up our might, our power, and show ferocity. We cannot perhaps avoid a careless fisherman's net that we become trapped within. We cannot perform others' battles or self-healing for them, right? We cannot always be compliant. We must sometimes aggressively speak our truth, just like the movement right now for, racial injustice, systemic racism. This is requiring aggressive speech, passively, of course, but, you teach us, those of you with the shark spirit animal qualities, you teach us that if we show our teeth, right, and back it up with integrity behind why we're showing our teeth and why we're going to bite, and it's filled with positive intent, good intentions, the battle is never lost, right? You are a fierce hunter and protector, as well as a formidable predator when the object of, your desire presents itself. It's very beautiful. I'm a Pisces, so I find this to be beautiful. I love, any kind of energy that just takes a stand. It reminds me of Dancing with Wolves, like stands with a fist, right? You can be, if you resonate with the spirit animal of the shark, elusive and mysterious at times, like a water sign or the water element. Adding to the stoic air of kind of a stern silence about you. There are, private sectors of your life which no one will ever be privy to knowing about but you, and perhaps a select, and I mean a very select few. Just like the shark in nature, we still, have many questions we don't know, where most of them meet their migration patterns or rogue type navigation and destinations are very, very, they're plotted in research. It just is indicative for sharks to be unpredictable and elusive. So you may be considered somewhat of a mystery or elusive to other people. You're also an opportunist. You, just like the sharks that gather at certain, times of the year, say like the Farallon Islands or Ana Nueva near Monterey Bay in California, right? You're opportunistic, just like the shark is, because the seals come in droves and you are aware when opportunity presents itself. You're aware you need to capitalize on everything and every resource that you can. And you often have a photographic memory as well on what, where, who, and why about all of this, these opportunities and what you did to capitalize so that you can be even more effective next time around. So an opportunist who doesn't take no for an answer and always knows where to go to find solutions, sustainable items of necessity, and also, you're searching for opportunities. So you don't just seize upon them, you're searching always. That's very, very, very great quality. You also, prefer, just as the shark, you prefer to be unannounced. That's your thing. You would rather slyly in stealth mode approach a scene or, gathering rather than wait out in the open, center stage by yourself waiting for people. You're very stealthy. And so you can be very much in the spotlight if the moment calls, but you can also, and prefer sometimes or most times, to be undetectable, kind of disguising yourself by blending in as the shark does in those cloudy, murky waters. You're all about the surprise. You want to be undetectable and then pop out, right? So you do like surprising people with things that they desire, those who are close to you, or with announcements or proposals, something tender about you. You like to surprise people and let them know of their achievements and what you appreciate about that. You're all about the sneak attack, to get to the right snacks, I think that we should say. And sneak attack is something that actually thrills you. And to sum up, guys, being a water being, the shark spirit animal is often overlooked due to their fearsome appearance, overlooked as far as someone who is deeply sensitive emotionally. The people out there who relate to the shark spirit animal energy, you guys are extremely sensitive. Your feelings are constantly flowing, just as the shark is in perpetual motion, has to always be swimming unless they will die, literally. You constantly keep these emotions flowing through every course of your veins, just like a current in the ocean. So, as fierce as you are and powerful, absolutely, but you are able to be strong, yet, let painful emotions be authentically explored. You transform within your life through letting these emotions flow through you, and various levels of emotional maturity come out of that. And you're always evolving and transforming the way that you deal with these deep-seated emotions, which is very, very, emotionally helpful. That's mental wellness 101, right? Also, you are an absolute, just a competitor. So if you've ever been to Hawaii or seen surfing competitions, you've seen the necklaces of a single shark's tooth, right? And that is symbolic of masculinity, traditions, like a vision quest ceremonies, again, male coming of age. So it is, usually, just like that warrior story earlier, it's usually, determined from ancient tribes or, cultures, the, masculinity or warrior is achieved, or the coming of age is granted when you have defeated, you are in a competition, you win, right? So this single shark's tooth was associated with, traditions throughout the past, and those who wear it are, said to possess extreme masculinity, strength, and the ability to win in competitions or win in battles. And in some cultures of old, after a vision quest where the male comes of age, right, it is an honor to wear the single shark tooth necklace to show that you have proven ceremoniously or otherwise that indeed you're able to represent your tribe, the patriarch, your, in your adult phase of life, and powerfully able to now take the reins. Also throughout many time periods of history, for instance, in medieval times, very strange, I thought people would wear a shark tooth necklace for protection from poison. you know, because there was so much poisoning, seriously, back then, that could be literally waiting and living for them in food and their beverages. So in that sense, it is also a protective charm, right? Protecting from and safeguarding them from, warding off from toxicity of the poison. So guys, that is summing up the spirit of the shark. I appreciate you. I send nothing but love and light. I cannot thank you enough, and send serious, genuine good vibes for everybody, and especially those. Shout out, like, seriously, Lotus Squad strong. If you have not already subscribed to Mistress Lotus, she's an amazing soul, and I just happened to catch a live, and it was so much soul food, so wise, so beautiful, so powerful and fierce, and just so loving and attentive as well. And she had made me feel so warm by mentioning my spirit animal videos. I'm like, wow, my gosh, you know about little old me in my videos, so it's amazing. I hope to potentially talk to her about collaborating. So I just want to shout out everybody who supports me, and thank everybody for receiving these spirit animal videos. I'm totally guided to do more and more of. I think I'm going to have a big playlist by the time we're done, guys. So blessings to all of you guys. Stay safe, well, and sending nothing but love and light.